Hello and welcome to Got Clutter, Get Organized, the conversation. And it's just you and me. And of course, it is the beginning of March. And we're also entering into a new season, which why I thought it was a great time to really talk about and focus on how we can have a smooth morning routine. And yes, it is possible because I'm going to give you strategies that I use. So you can either sit back, you can share this conversation, you can take notes, but let's get started. So, number one is have a set bedtime. Now, of course, we're all adults. And of course, when we were kids, we had a set bedtime because our parents said, look, you need to be in the bed by a certain time. But that works the same with us because when we have a set bedtime, that means one, we're allowing ourselves to get enough rest. We're allowing ourselves to recharge. We're allowing ourselves to regroup, relax, so that we can do all that we need to do for the next day. So having that set bedtime because it allows you to really better manage your time overall. So you know when you get up, what you can do before you actually have to go out the door, but also it doesn't allow you to just linger and try to stay up beyond when you really need to, specifically when you had a long day. So have a set bedtime. That's the first thing. The second thing is preparing the night before. Now you've heard me say this probably 1,000 times. 15 minutes of pre-planning will save you an hour the next day, and also it helps you just kind of eliminate those chaotic mornings and you have a smoother morning routine. So planning the night before can look different for everybody, but of course some general things is maybe just laying your clothes out the night before, whether you work from home or you have to leave out of the house. Also, making sure you know where your keys are, making sure everything you need is in your tote in your pocketbook, making sure you have everything so that when you leave, you'll have everything you need for appointments, whether you're going to meetings, you're meeting with people, maybe you're going past a specific store and you need to drop off things. So those are some things as well. Making sure, of course, you know where your keys are, making sure your shoes match. So when you do walk out the door, they are actually matching. So those are some things as well. And of course, making sure you, of course, have a spot for your magic mind. We're going to talk about the magic. I love this and I can't wait to share with you all the wonderful things that it has truly done just to transform not only my thinking, but my energy and really just the way I manage my day and my time. So those are some things that you need to do the night before. So making sure you have a spot for that as well. But now number three, have a set wake up time. So of course we talked about having a bedtime, plan a night before, having a set wake up time, because what that does is it helps you actually making sure that you allow yourself enough time to do everything you need to do. For example, I'm an early riser and all of my friends know this. Usually I'll wake up no later than 5 o'clock. That's late for me if I wake up after 5 o'clock or after. But I do that because there's so many things I like to do. I like to read. I like to listen to music. I like to just meditate and I like to pray. Those are things that I need to do and I want to do before I actually get out of bed. I do those things because of what I do as a life organizer, as a podcaster, and even just as a friend, because I am giving so much of myself to other people, which I don't mind, is I got to make sure that I give to myself. And those are ways that I give to myself. So making sure that I have a certain weight so that I'm not worried about, oh my goodness, I woke up late and I got to rush. I have a set wake up times. So I know I can do all of those things. And then, of course, I can eat my breakfast, I get dressed, and then I can, check and see if I've got any emails I need to just focus on. And then I can go out the door about my day. So that's something I do as well. The next thing is I do get dressed before I actually go into the kitchen. Now, of course, some of you may decide to do other things, and one of the things about really getting dressed is because you don't have to rush and actually have to go and think, oh my goodness, I got to take a shower, I got to do this, I got to do this. And basically what I do is when I say I get dressed, I always actually make sure all I have to do, the last thing I have to do when I'm done in the kitchen is basically put my clothes on. So I'm like fully dressed. I'll probably put on either a robe or, something I'll wear around the house, just to kind of cover up. And I do that because that's one less thing. See, I have everything strategically planned that I need to do. So that kind of leads up to me actually going out the door. And this strategy really helps me make sure I get everything done. I'm not overwhelmed. I'm not feeling stressed. I'm not feeling anxious, thinking, oh my goodness, I forgot to do this. That helps me do this. So really, what I'm sharing with you, one, is how I do things, but you can actually create your own strategy on how you do things. And yes, it's a ritual. Yes, it's a routine. Yes, it's a habit. But I can tell you, when I walk out that door, I never feel like, oh my goodness, I forgot something or I forgot to do something. So that is the fourth thing. Now, of course, once we have gotten ourselves dressed, we're heading to the kitchen. And then, of course, it is time to, whether you did a smoothie, whether you eat breakfast, or of course, you are like me, you always make sure you take your magic mind. And let me just tell you, just let me take a moment just to share with you what this has done for me. First of all, since I started in January, I have been able to actually write. I've written several books, several ebooks, and it wasn't that I didn't write them, but it was I was able to organize my thoughts and, of course, pass it on to my team, who actually helped me, get two of them published. So make sure you look at the links below and make sure you check those out. But those are the kind of things. Not only that, it has helped me have more energy. So now, even in the evening, because usually in the evening, I'm just ready just to kind of just like sit somewhere, lay somewhere, and that's it. I have a lot more energy. So what this is actually doing, it is actually almost lengthening the energy that I do have. So it's helping me with my focus, it's helping me lengthen my energy, and of course, I believe it is helping me really manage my time and manage my teams, because before I would have all of these ideas in my head and I would just kind of just blurt them out. But now I'm more strategic in how I assign tasks, assign projects. So one, I feel like things are moving forward, but also I don't feel like I'm overwhelmed. So again, make sure you try this out. Make sure you do it for, at least a minimum of 7 days straight. But then once you do it, kind of check in with me and let me know how you're making, whether you're 3 days, 7 days in, or those of you who decide, you know what, Janet, this stuff is so fantastic, I'm doing it beyond. So just making sure you share that with me as well. But again, making sure in regards to that, you fuel yourself. So you fuel yourself with a smoothie, some breakfast, don't forget the magic mind, but making sure you fuel yourself with something, because once you either step out the door or step into your workspace, you are going to have to kind of exert some energy, because you're going to have to cross things off your list, meet some deadlines. So making sure you have fuel in your body. Now, of course, I think it's important just to allow yourself a little bit of buffer time. And that buffer time is really what I call like extra time. So, for example, the other day, I knew I had to catch the train in order to get to a client. And I allowed myself extra time because I had to get to the train. So I took public transportation to the train. So I allowed for extra time because I know where I live. There's a lot of different construction going on. There could be traffic issues. There could be a number of things going on. So I allow for that. So whether it's 15 minutes or 30 minutes, allow yourself that extra time, because again, this is all about having a smooth morning routine. This is about eliminating anxiety, overwhelm, and stress. So that's number 6. Of course, number 7, which is the last one, and I'm going to go through all of these again, is leaving the house on time. We should all kind of think about, what time do I need to leave the house? Do I need to leave the house at 7:30? Do I need to leave the house at 8 o'clock? What time do I need to leave the house, taking into consideration the buffer time, so that I can get where I am going on time? So allow yourself that as well. So I'm going to go over these again, and I am going to, because, I'm going to read them. Number 1, have a set bedtime. Number 2, prepare the night before. Number 3, have a set wake up time. Number 4, get dressed. Sometimes before you just get like semi-dressed before you go on to the breakfast. I'm getting things done, excuse me. Number 5, keep your breakfast simple. Number 6, excuse me again, build in extra time. And number 7, leaving the house on time. So again, have set bedtime. Also prepare the night before. 15 minutes will save you an hour the next day. Have a set wake up time. Get semi-dressed before breakfast, making sure you have some type of fuel in your body before you start your work day. That's number 5. Number 6, build an extra time. And number 7, leave the house on time. So again, these are strategies that can help you have a smooth morning routine. And of course, if you take on these strategies, please share them with me. But if you decide, you know what, Janet, I needed to tweak mine just a little because, maybe I've got pets or I've got kids, I got a spouse, I'm a caregiver. I want to know. But I also want to let you know that for a limited time only, you can get 48% off of your first subscription and 20% off a one-time purchase of Magic Mind. Again, you can get 48% off your first subscription or 20% off a one-time purchase. And of course, the code for that is CGCO20. That's CGCO20 at checkout. And of course, there is a link below. So make sure you can get, again, you can get up to 48% off of your first subscription and 20% off of a one-time purchase. So as I shared with you before, this stuff really is truly helping me be more focused, be more intentional, and help me better manage my time. And of course, it's giving me energy that I never thought I had. So I would love to know how you are having a smooth morning routine this season. And of course, as always, this has been another episode of Got Clutter, Get Organized. I'm going to end it before I lose my voice. So until next time, I want you to have a clutter-free day, but most of all, I want you to have an organized week. And don't forget to check the links below. Have a great one. Take care.